during, let's say, a solar eclipse, when the light disappears, you get to see what is revealed when it's not in the spotlight. And I think that's something to think about, is once the lights are off, what comes out? Good morning, everybody. Happy metaphysical morning. Happy Sunday. Hope you had the most magical of weeks.
But what we're actually going to talk about today is, are eclipses something to be afraid of?
Well, I think this is such a perfect time to talk about it, because we're in the middle of eclipse season right now. We have a full moon lunar eclipse happening on Thursday. So it's perfect to talk about this. I love it.
Yeah, so I'm going to count on you to tell everyone what an eclipse actually is astrologically. Like, what is it? And astrologically, what is it?
Absolutely. So eclipse are a new moon or a full moon on steroids. So we get a solar eclipse for a new moon, and we get a lunar eclipse for a full moon. Did I say full moon twice? New moon for solar, full moon for lunar. I'm like hearing myself echo in my own brain. Happens sometimes. And so what is actually happening, though, is under a solar eclipse. Eclipse happen when the moon crosses the ecliptic. And so at those points, we call those the nodes. You have your own nodes that you're born with. So whenever you were born, there's a south node and there is a north node. And wherever you are born, you always get that. But the eclipse happen in these series. We call them a series. It happens every 18 months. Not saying that eclipses only happen 18 months, but every 18 months they'll oscillate between the solar and the lunar, between two astrological signs. And so we're actually just finishing up a eclipse cycle of Virgo and Pisces. So if you are a Virgo or a Pisces, you have almost made it. Now, if you are a Aquarius or a Leo, welcome to the show. And I'm just like throwing some hype out there with it, because the whole intention of talking about this episode today is, are eclipse evil? Are they bad? Should we be scared? What should we do during eclipse?
Or what shouldn't you do?
Or what shouldn't you do? Yeah. And so I want to talk about all of those things today, because I think it's so good to talk about it. There's so many different things to consider. But, just going back to what is an eclipse. So solar eclipse is when from our vantage point on Earth, we're looking at the sun and the moon crosses in front of the sun. That's what causes a solar eclipse. For the lunar eclipse, it's actually when we're looking at the moon and we know the sun will be on the other side. The Earth is crossing between the sun and the moon. So the Earth's shadow is reflected on the moon, and that gives us a lunar eclipse. Now, depending on where this new moon, full moon falls and the ecliptic, we're either going to get a full eclipse or a partial eclipse. And there's some other few varying degrees of eclipse. So that's not always the full eclipse. And it depends on where you live in the world. So like the one that just happened on August 12th, that was a total solar eclipse. We didn't see that here in northern Minnesota. That was on the other side of the world, but they got to see it. I got to see a bunch of pictures of it. I want to see that one day. And so the one that is happening next week is a partial lunar eclipse. And that's happening on August 27th. And that's in the sign of Pisces.
Yeah. So I just want to say, Ashley did a great job. The only thing I can add is that moonlight is just sunlight reflected off the moon. The moon does not make its own light.
I think or does it?
Logically, I've always known that. Yeah. But recently it's been coming up more in some discussions online and having.
Yeah.
And
I see it. I see it.
I just think we don't stop and pause and think about that. We just think, oh, moonlight, sunlight, moonlight, sunlight. But really, it's awesome.
I like to entertain the option that maybe it's not. Things aren't always, I don't have all the answers. I don't know.
Do you think the moon is hollow? And there's, okay, well, that's a whole other topic.
Well, that's a whole other topic. Okay, let's talk about the moon and what it could be another time. Is it its own kind of energy? Is it giving us something that we don't even know?
My favorite might be that it's made of cheese. If you knew me, you would know. So with that explanation of what are eclipses?
Yeah.
So imagine you're an ancient human or human alien hybrid.
Yeah.
And you don't know any of that. And so eclipses were very scary things for them sometimes.
Yeah. Yep.
I think some ancient cultures had a vast understanding of astronomy and astrology that we don't give them credit for.
Yep.
But I definitely think at times they did not know.
Well, and yeah, you take your cues from nature. And even
Right.
when you observe, which I think is the most important thing to take away from when we have an eclipse, we'll talk about like things to do or to avoid. I will never, Jessica would never tell you what you should and shouldn't do.
No.
I'm definitely not a rule follower. And so please don't tell me what I should or shouldn't do, but I will just give you the information to let you decide what you want to do with it. And from my perspective, from an astrological perspective, because that's where I come from, I'll share with you what I think. But yeah, if we take our cues from nature, which astrology is nature, it's happening. This amazing, incredible alignment of these celestial bodies is doing something so phenomenal. But even if you just observe what's happening during an eclipse, it is eerie. It's ominous.
It is. So just imagine you're an ancient human and you don't know any of these things.
Yeah.
You didn't go to science class, so you didn't know. Or maybe you're not an ancient human. You're a human today and you didn't go to science class.
Yeah.
So you're having a totally normal day and then the sun begins to disappear.
Yeah.
That would be a little frightening. And then eventually the temperature drops.
Temperature drops.
And I will say the light, it's not just that the sun goes away. The light, it looks strange.
It's weird.
It's like a little eerie and the animals act different. Yeah. And then if it's a total eclipse, like it basically becomes night.
Yeah.
In the middle of the day.
I've never experienced that, but I cannot wait.
It'd be scary if you're, because your civilization probably depends upon the sun for farming.
Yeah.
And so now you're afraid, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like that's where that whole should you be afraid of eclipse comes in because people didn't know, so they were scared, right?
Yeah.
Well, we don't know, we're scared of. And so in ancient Mesopotamia, they thought that the king might be about to die. They thought it was like a warning that the king was going to die. So, yep. And then in ancient China, this is one of my favorite ones. They thought that something was eating the sun. Because I guess because it happens like slowly and over time. And so they thought that perhaps a celestial dragon was devouring the sun. Yeah. And then in ancient Greece, they believe that an eclipse may have helped destroy an army because there was and it was in 413. And there was a war going on and there was a lunar eclipse and they took it as an omen and he postponed the retreat and the delay was disastrous. They were going to retreat, they decided not to. And then they used that as an omen and basically everyone died. So, yeah.
Well, even the sun is dad, the moon is mom. I mean, love story. What happens when dad and mom get together? Well, the kids don't go outside and don't look. Mom and dad are doing things you don't want to know about. But I think from an astrological perspective, I mean, the sun is our life force. It's our vitality. We can't live without it. The moon is our emotional body and how we feel on the inside. But during, let's say, a solar eclipse, when the light disappears, you get to see what is revealed when it's not in the spotlight. And I think that's something to think about is once the lights are off, what comes out? There can be a little ominous flair to that of not seeing the things all the time because you're blinded by what's on stage. Well, there's a whole world going around. When those lights fell off, then it's like the universe has this opportunity to show you. That's what I always look at eclipse season, the actual events of what is the universe trying to show me here? Being very intentional with it and from that perspective. But I don't they're cosmic accelerators. They speed up timelines. Is something that often gets fear-mongered of a catastrophe or something bad is going to happen, a bad omen. But that also, what that all is signifying is change. Change happens all the time. It happens all the time. But it's also like, where are you at in your life? Are you beginning a new chapter? That's an exciting acceleration. Is your relationship changing? That can be good or bad. Acceleration changing.
Maybe you want the current king to die.
Maybe you do.
A new king would be better.
Yeah. They are fated events. They can bring new people into your life. They can remove people from your life. And not that it is something physically happening where, it's plucking. We have to be careful because the eclipse is going to come and pluck somebody that we love out of our lives. No, these are cosmic course correctors. They're kind of like little time warps that just speed up where we were already going. And I think of them too of like it's not even in the moment that the eclipse is significant. So I'm not saying on August 27th, there will be an ending on that day. That's not how it works. There could be, depending on your timing and what's going on in your life, what your eclipse story is. Because remember, these are like 18-month windows where you are going between new beginnings and endings in a certain area of your life. You may not, it may be a day that comes and nothing happens, but that's just because you don't visibly see it. Like if you're manifesting, this is also why they say, and I don't really manifest during eclipse, because let's say you're manifesting a new person into your life. And you, just by having that desire, you've already communicated with the universe that that's what you're manifesting. In that eclipse window, you are not privy to all of the things that are happening behind the scenes. The universe may have just moved heaven and earth to move that person into your town. And now you're like, well, I don't see anything going on. I give up on love. I don't want love anymore. And the universe is like, well, whoa, wait a minute. Like you don't even see the whole picture.
Right.
So that's why I like to hands off the wheel during these time frames, let the universe do its thing.
So that's good. So that goes to the question we have. What are things that the internet tells us not to do during an eclipse? And should we do them anyway? So one of them is manifest.
You do whatever the hell you want.
That kind of stuff. So I think in this way, Ashley and I have the exact same mindset. We create our own realities. Yeah. So create the reality however you want.
But I also think like you create the reality you want to fuck around, you're going to find out. If that's what you want to do, go for it. I mean, that is just, yeah, we all have our own destiny and what we're creating around us. Yeah. You'll hear from the astrological world and community, there is a lot of, you'll hear, do not manifest. Don't you dare manifest anything during the eclipse window. I can't subscribe to that. I can't, because everyone has their own story. Everyone is living within their own timeline. You can't peanut butter something across and give me any rules. One, I've got Uranus on my rising. I don't follow rules. I got a problem with authority. You tell me what to do, I'm probably going to either remove you from my life or do the opposite thing. But I'm also have so much Sagittarius energy. Like, don't tell me what my beliefs are. I want to give me the information. I have an intuition. I have my own guides and I'm going my own direction. So, I always say take things with a grain of salt.
Should you charge your crystals or make moon water during an eclipse?
I'm going to defer to you on this one. This is
I'm going to say do whatever you want to do. Yeah. So my crystals here at the shop, so they're mine until someone comes and buys them. They get the moonlight all the time because the shop has so many windows, and I'm not moving all those crystals. So they're getting charged. They get charged every night. Yeah. And every day, because I believe the sun also charges crystals. So, and the crystals in the shop are pretty clear and they do great. So I think it's fine. With the moon water during an eclipse, I think it depends on your intention for the moon water.
I love that you said it like
and that. I would label it as like the lunar eclipse or solar eclipse water, moon water, just so you know. But I think, like that water charged that way under the eclipse can serve purpose. And so it's not a bad idea to make it. Just be careful where you use it.
Okay, how and when. It is about intentionality. This is very powerful energy. It is very powerful energy. And you can use that to your advantage. Like use it when you need it, but understand what your intentions are when you are using it. Yeah. Like the universe, like I was just telling Jessica, during eclipse seasons, especially right around eclipse, the universe is already putting its foot on the gas pedal. Like, do you need to push the pedal to the floor? Like, do you need to do that? Or maybe you kind of just let the universe take control for a little bit. Surrender. I think these are great times for surrender, for observation, and welcoming what the universe is trying to share with you during these times.
I agree with all of that. But then I could also see where, like, especially with the moon water, maybe you do want to put the foot on that accelerator.
Yeah.
Maybe you have something specific that you're doing or working on or manifesting and you want that.
Yep.
And so if that's the case, then that might be the perfect moon water or the perfect time to set the intention.
Yep.
So that's why, that's why Ashley and I both there's not rules here.
You have your own astrology. Your astrology is not mine. Yours and ours. We're on our own journey. And so you have to do what you have to do.
So then are major decisions a bad idea during an eclipse? Because, we all know people who are like, oh, I can't sign a contract because it's a bad time to enter into contracts. So is that a bad idea, really?
Okay, life doesn't stop because the sun and the moon are crossing each other. You're going to have a contract that you have to sign on a eclipse.
Right.
What I will say is pay attention, more attention. Just be heightened about what you're agreeing to, what is being revealed to you. Life's not going to stop like I said, because the sun and the moon have decided to do something magnificent in the sky. But again, you use your discernment.
I also think that goes to what you were saying about it's not like the energy isn't one day.
No.
And so if you say, I'm not closing on a house on the solar eclipse day,
right.
because you're not supposed to do that on
right.
that day,
right.
but it's the whole season.
Correct.
So
it's the whole season.
Are you supposed
to?
Yeah, are you not supposed to close on your house for 4 months because that's the season? Like, just logically, it doesn't make sense.
Put our life on pause.
Yeah.
And it's not intended to be that way. It is, think of it like there's a storyline that has been happening in your eclipse story. This is a new chapter. Sometimes when you're reading a book and you open a new chapter and you're like, whoa, that was out of left field. I didn't see that coming. That's what eclipses are like. But they were building in the background. It's still part of a bigger story and an evolution. It's just we notice. These are the points where we really get to notice, whoa, here's the shift. Here's the new beginning. This is the surrender. This is the let go. Here's the new person. This is the end. Those are the moments where we notice.
Yes. What happens if absolutely nothing happens to you during an eclipse?
That goes to there's always something happening. There's always something happening. Just because you don't see it in your immediate reality doesn't mean the universe isn't moving hell and earth to align things in the background. That's why it is hands off the wheel. This is where you put your full trust in what is happening in the universe on behalf of your greatest good. I don't want to mess with that. Especially if you are really a person, I think it goes back to how intentional are you living your life? If you are someone that's intentional and you are really working on your mindset and calling in the type of life that you want to live, you are working with the universe. So let the universe do its job. If you are not doing that, then that's probably where you're going to feel the most jarring, the most chaos, because you haven't really been clear with the direction you want to go in.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
And so, Ashley,
yeah,
what is so special about this particular Pisces lunar eclipse?
Yeah. So August 27th, we have a partial lunar eclipse. It's going to be at 4 degrees of Pisces. So first thing I would do is definitely look at where you have 4 degrees of Pisces in your chart, because this is truly a culmination of the last 18 months. It's not the end of the story, but this is where that really gets integrated. And so just without even going into specific dates, think about the last 2 years, things that have been happening in your life around the end of August and September. There is a thread there where when we get to the 27th, we are buttoning that up. It could be something's coming to a close, something revealed. Lunar eclipse, remember, this is where it's a culmination point. It's an ending point. And so we're shifting into the next eclipse cycle. So the Aquarius Leo eclipse are going to start being the predominant season that we're in. But since this is Pisces, Pisces is the sign of surrender and letting go and trusting in the universe, trusting in your desires. And so if you are someone who is a mutable sign, so Pisces, Gemini, Sagittarius, and Virgo, this eclipse series has been significantly impactful for you. Also, if you have any planets within Pisces or Virgo, this has also been something that's been magnified for you. So take a look at your chart. But my recommendation for this Pisces is to really listen, to soften, to let go. Some things may be revealed in the next few weeks where you are ready to let go, because this is a point where we're not carrying things with us that no longer belong. And that's kind of part of the eclipse energy of just really shaking loose those last threads that are really holding on. And I think that's where people can get kind of that awe, that shock and awe of what happens during eclipse. Not always, but if you're gripping too tightly on something that is long overdue and you're ready, that's no longer part of where you're going, I just say surrender, find a way to just listen to what the universe is really sharing with you for this eclipse. Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
So we do have a sound bath here at Divine North
Video.
for this eclipse. So if you are local, if you're in the Brainerd Lakes area, come and join us for a beautiful evening of sound and surrender. It's going to be on the 27th at 5:30 here at Divine North. And tickets are on the Divine North website. We'd love to see you, share space with you under this beautiful full moon sky.
Yes. And if you enjoyed our conversation, please like and subscribe to this video and share it with your friends.
Yay! Love it.
All right. Well, happy Sunday, everyone.
Happy Sunday. We'll see you next week.
Yes. Bye.
How are we already at the end of August?
I don't even know.
Only one week left.
I have this theory about it.
I love to hear your theory about it.
I think it feels that way because we're ready for summer to be over. Even though we're not, we are. Like, I always look at the plant world.
Yeah.
And things are starting to give it the last effort. I feel like, especially here in Minnesota, right? We crave that summer all winter.
Mm-hmm.
But then in the summer, we get so much sunlight all the time.
Yeah.
And we rush out and feel like we have to do all the things. And so by the end of summer, we're a little spent.
We are. And that's the perfect transition because we just entered Virgo season yesterday. And so now, we're getting back to basics. We're getting organized. We're slowing down a little bit, getting back to nature. And this, let's just slow down. Kids' summer schedules are,
Yes.
I mean, they're back in school. So
Are they back in school?
No, not yet, but they will be.
Okay.
And so most of the summer programs are winding down. So I feel that. I'm not really ready. I feel like we didn't really get much of an August. It went kind of right to September. I love September. I'm loving September more and more, every year. I love the fall even more than summer. So, but a couple more warm days.
Someone said that summer's not that great. We're just conditioned to think it's great because when we're kids in school, we want the summer so bad.
Yeah.
But really, it's not the best season. And I was like, I think that might be true.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things.
There's a lot of things there, for sure.
I also think we have a warped perception because the winter here is so long.
Yeah.
So we just feel like the summer should be longer. But really, I feel like the spring and fall should be longer and we should have less winter. I don't know that we need a longer summer.
Yeah.
Because I feel like we go from snow to hot.
Come on now. Feb, March, April, and May are the longest.
They are because it's still snow on the ground.
I know. It's like winter part 2.
It is. I think that's a part of living in Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
We had 2 winters.
If you're going to snowbird, it's Feb, March, April. Come back at the end of May.
Yeah, it's very true.
Anyway, that's our thoughts on the seasons here as we're shifting seasons into the fall season.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bye. Perfect.
Beautiful.